morning, Ms. Powe.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. The witness for today is Brigadier Matjeng. And Chair, she is represented. The representation are ready to put themselves on the record.
I prefer, unless you want to be close to your client, I prefer that perhaps you take a seat either there or across there. Thank you, thank you. You want to maintain visual contact, Ms. Powe?
Yes, Chair. My apologies about that.
Thank you. Please, who's lead? No, sit down, please. Throw out. And switch on the mic and place yourselves on record.
Okay. My name is Mr. Sherenzi.
What?
Sherenzi.
Sherezi.
Yes. Initials.
Sherezi.
Sherenzi, yes, Commissioner. It's spelled S-H-I.
S-H-I.
R-I.
R-I.
N-T-Z-I. And then initials are R-T.
After the I, R-I?
R-I, N-T-Z-I.
N-D-Z-I.
Yes. And then initials.
I heard you sound like the I after the H is E.
So
Did
it's
you say
S-H-I.
she?
She. Yes.
Oh,
S-H-I, R-I, N-T-Z-I, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
And
you,
then
Mr. Sherenzi.
initials, it's R-T.
Thank you.
Yes, I do confirm that I represent Mrs. Matsheng, Brigadier Matsheng. Our instructions, Commissioner, are that our client is ready to proceed. However, we want to reserve the right to actually file the supplementary affidavit should the need arise. Yes, Commissioner.
And you are sitting with?
She'll introduce herself, Commissioner.
Thank you.
My name is Kilebohile. My name is Kilebohile Ratema. Ratema.
Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Ratima. Are you attorneys or counsel? Not that it matters for...
I'm an attorney. She is a candidate attorney.
All right. Thank you. Yes. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Powe.
Chair, the witness is ready to be sworn in.
Thank you. Good morning, Brigadier.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Brigadier, I want to hear you pronounce your surname yourself, please.
Matjeng.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Matjeng.
M-A-T-J-E-N-G. Matjeng.
Matjeng. Thank you, Brigadier. Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you, Brigadier.
Commissioners, as we've done with other witnesses in phase 2, Brigadier Matjeng will be taken through her statement, and I will endeavor to only ask clarity-seeking questions and try not to interrupt her as much as possible. And thereafter, I'll explore various themes arising from her testimony and the testimony of other witnesses before this commission. Brigadier, just to confirm what you have in front of you, you should have a file that's marked statement, chats and annexures. Do you confirm that this file is in front of you?
I confirm.
And if you open the file, up top on the statement will be your statement first. The second tab will contain the WhatsApp extract that was extracted from Mr. Matlala's phone. And the last tab contains various annexures to the WhatsApp chats and other documentation. Do you confirm that your file is in the same order as mine?
I confirm.
Thank you. And if you then go to your statement, do you confirm that this is a statement that you have prepared for purposes of giving testimony before this commission?
I do confirm.
And if you go to page 12 of your statement, do you confirm that that is your signature at the end of your statement?
I confirm.
And do you confirm the truthfulness of the contents of the statement?
I confirm.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, if we go to the beginning of your statement, can you explain to the commissioners who you are, the role you occupy, and your service history within the South African Police Service?
Okay. I'm a female police officer with the rank of a brigadier and currently working as a section head quality management in criminal record and crime scene management at Division Forensic Services. I'm stationed at 271 Francis Bart, Botongo Plaza West at Pretoria.
Brigadier, you can proceed to deal with aspects of your statement arising from that section as well as your service history. So you can go straight through.
I was transferred to this position with effect from the 16th of October 2023, as it appears from my job description below. I play no role in the award of a tender under discussion. Should I read 3 and 4? Or must I go to my service history?
Brigadier, you can read 3 and 4, or you can skip to your service history. It's really just an opportunity for you to put your version on the record.
Okay. My service history, I set out my career history in the South African Police Service as follows. 1994, I joined the SAPS, went to basic training at Oudtshoorn. In 1996, 0701 to 2004, 1131, I moved through the ranks of sergeant, inspector, captain in the criminal record and crime scene management training as a trainer. 53, 2004, 1201, I was promoted to a superintendent. By then, now is a lieutenant colonel as a coordinator of automated fingerprint identification system. In 2010, 0801, I was further promoted to a colonel as a skills development facilitator of Division Forensic Services. In 2012, 0401, I was promoted to the rank of a brigadier as a provincial head of criminal record and crime scene management in Limpopo. In 2016, I moved with the same rank to Division Human Resource Development as a section head for crime detection development. 5.7, in 2023-1016, then I was transferred to Division Forensic Services as a section head for quality management, criminal record and crime scene management. My qualifications, are as follows. I obtained my National Diploma in Policing from Technicon SA, and I also attended management courses and other related certificates to the post.
Brigadier, just before we move forward, your voice is a little faint, so we're going to try to move the mics closer to you.
My apologies, I have an irritation on my throat, but I'll try to be as loud as possible.
Thank you. Brigadier, you can then go on to your current responsibilities.
My responsibilities at my current post are the following. Manage the integrated quality management system to the component criminal record and crime scene management, the management and implementation of quality assurance and quality control principles in line with international organizational standard ISO 9001, 17020, 31000, and 17025. The management of environmental compliance principle in line with the Occupational Health and Safety Act and related regulation, including ISO 4501 and 14001 respectively. My responsibilities in respect of environmental compliance functions entail the following. Manage the occupational health and safety, legal appointments, risk assessment, emergency preparedness, occupational hygiene survey, waste management, medical surveillance, and biological monitoring. Safety, health, and environmental inspection and audits in compliance to Occupational Health and Safety Act number 85 of 1993. Manage the coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring, which is a planned program of periodic health monitoring for employees exposed to the specific workplace hazard such as lead, noise, biological, radiation, and chemical agent. Number 10, it must be noted that the criminal record and crime scene management environment has various occupational exposure risks which mandates the employer to conduct medical surveillance by a qualified occupational health and occupational medical practitioners. In the SAPS, such services are outsourced to the health risk manager, and the issuing of authorization is managed by Division Supply Chain Management, Safety, Health Management Office. How I got to know about the health risk manager contract service provider. Months in March 2024 into my new responsibility, I think I was 6 months into my new responsibility as the section head of quality management, criminal record and crime scene management. I became aware of the health risk manager contract. The awareness was triggered by the coming to an end of the previous health risk manager contract, Metropolitan. There were discussion of the expired contract of Metropolitan. It was further alluded that there was an extension granted of 3 months to Metropolitan until a new service provider for health risk management is appointed. That's when I requested more information so that I can understand the implementation of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program within the component CR and CSM. Within health risk manager scope, since the environmental compliance officers, which is ECHO, within the quality management structure are responsible for the coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. 2013. Later in the month of June, the Management of Quality Management was informed by Division Supply Chain Management, SHE Management, that the new Health Risk Manager Service Provider contract was awarded to Medicare 24 Tshwane District. I then informed my supervisor, Major General Manamela, that I know Mr. Matlala and explained the nature of our relationship, and I further asked if I should recuse myself from the responsibility of managing the medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. Major General Manamela indicated that this is part of my scope of work and cannot relegate that responsibility, especially that the facilitation and coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program is solely the responsibility of Environmental Compliance Officer, which we will refer to as ECHO. And if there are challenges, I still need to address them professionally. It must be noted that I was not part of the bid specification committee or bid evaluation committee, nor bid adjudication committee, and was not aware of the service providers that submitted the bids for the tender, or any engagement with any previous health risk manager that were contracted by SAPS.
Yes, Brigadier, you can continue.
Responding to the meetings with Medicare 24, as part of the onboarding in the component quality management, I was informed by my supervisor, Major General Manamela, that when the new health risk manager is appointed, presentations are made to ensure that the contractor understands the core business and occupational exposures into forensic services, and the applicable medical metrics, including required report for management reporting, including holding meetings with the appointed health risk manager. I was further informed that it is a norm that when contracts are awarded, end user and contractor, stakeholder supplier engagement meetings will be held with the appointed service provider. This practice is also applied in the occupational exposure surveillance, waste management, proficiency testing, and personal protective equipment contracts. Medicare 24 meeting was held to plan the medical assessment to ensure that service delivery is not affected, including the discussion of abnormal results so as to assess the effectiveness of internal controls, challenges, experience during the implementation of the contract, as well as familiarizing the service provider with the environment. Numerous meetings were held post the award of the contract between SAPS and the contractor, Medicare 24, where I was in attendance. The first meeting was held in July 2024 at head office, chaired by the component head of Employee Health and Wellness, Major General Temba, Management of Quality Management, Contract Manager, which is Brigadier Netengwe, Supply Chain, which is SHE, Colonel Mugadi, and representative of Metropolitan, as well as representative of Medicare, where the handing over process was discussed. The second meeting was held on 2024-08-06 at CAT VIP offices. The overview of forensic service and medical metrics, wherein SHE management representative and quality management senior managers were also in attendance. There were several meetings that were held with the service provider, Medicare 24. The meeting in question which is on my WhatsApp exchange between myself and Mr. Matlala, was to discuss challenges relating to the implementation of medical surveillance in the component CR and CSM. There were challenges experienced, and I indicated to my supervisor, Major General Manamela, who in turn requested that I must arrange an agent meeting with the service provider. Due to the agency of the meeting and knowing the delays we will normally experience with responding to emails, I then sent Mr. Matlala a WhatsApp to confirm our telephone conversation with a message and details of the meeting. The meeting was held on 2025-01-17 at Medicare offices with Major General Manamela, myself, I think here I've just skipped myself. The meeting was held in 2025-01-17 at Medicare offices with Major General Manamela, myself, and Mr. Matlala. And we discussed medical surveillance authorization issued to the component CR and CSM, which were progressing at a very slow pace. Outstanding certificate of fitness for members who attended the medical assessment, and challenges raised by employees. The last meeting was held on 2025-04-16 at Medicare offices and was attended by quality management managers and supply chain management, and the following were discussed: authorization issued since the contract inception, finalized medical assessment, scheduling of appointments, outstanding certificate of fitness, 24.2, medical surveillance rollout for 2025 to 2026. Since we were in the year, the financial year 2024 to 2025. Establishment of a framework for ongoing communication and performance tracking. It must be noted that the certificate of fitness is critical for the forensic services for early detection of occupational diseases. Proceed.
Yes, you can proceed.
WhatsApp communication regarding the contract. Communication between myself and Medicare 24 was on email, telephone, and WhatsApp. Due to the delays or non-responsive on the email, we then agree with Mr. Matlala that we can communicate by WhatsApp or telephonically, because that line of communication was long established, where we will also talk about our private matters. He will relay his frustrations about the contract, how they are financially affecting him, such as late payments and partial payments which are made by subs, which is affecting Medicare 24 ability to pay the subcontracted service providers. Delays in facilitating the authorization by making appointment with his contracted service providers, as most contracted service providers do not want to work with him because the company is owing them. Lastly, the stalling of work by subs in other streams, which is incapacity leave, short-term sick leave, awareness program, and the health screening. On 2025-02-012, I received a call from Mr. Matlala, who was frustrated, and he informed me that he received a non-performance letter from SAPS, but his lawyers already responded. I was surprised by the response letter, as he did not mention some of the issues which he was long complaining about. I then highlighted to him that he could have included the issues of non-payment issues, failures to have quarterly meetings with the company as per service level agreement, and also the issues whereby members were insisting on going to their preferred doctors. On 2025-02-19, while I was on call with him discussing other matters, he then informed me that when medicals were conducted in our environment, there were more than 300 no-shows or non-arrival, which can be a misappointment for medical surveillance. They conducted from 2024-08-19 to 2024-08-23. Then I disputed the figure and informed him that there was 2 follow-up appointments on 2024-08-26 to 2024-08-27, and a further date of 2024-09-30 to 2024-10-05. As more members attended the follow-ups, which drastically reduced the number of 300. But I further indicated that I will check and confirm the numbers the following day. I then confirmed the numbers and forwarded him the name list of 140 members, which he will confirm with the authorization they receive, attendance register, as well as the refusal list. It must be noted that the list they already had, they just needed to compare with the 300 that he was indicating to me, and it's also worth noting that even though it's non-arrival, the non-arrival fee was not claimed nor paid to Medicare 24. On 2025-03, I informed him about the complaints that I received regarding the Lancet account, which was billed to members' account. And I sent him proof of the Lancet statement. Some I sent through email, and later he sent me proof of email that James Murray saw that, and they are already attending to them.
Can you please try to state this in your own, or rather these are your words, but can you, without looking at this, just explain what this paragraph means? And also how James Murray features.
Paragraph 32.
Yes, please.
What happened is, when there are medical surveillance, the members will be sent to the to Lancet as well as Empath to do the blood test. Now, because it's the organization that will be paying or urging members to go and attend the medical surveillance, then the account of Lancet, when it comes, it must be in the name of Medicare instead of the member's name, instead of a member being responsible for that account. So we had several issues whereby members were receiving statements from Lancet indicating that this account is on your name, and they were threatening legal action. So normally you'll have delays when communicating with people from Medicare. Hence, me and Mr. Matlala, we agreed that if there's any agent thing or if there are challenges, forward me a WhatsApp or call me. Then in this instance, I say, no, there's something wrong. Our members are receiving bills from Lancet. And he said, send me proof of that Lancet statement. And I sent it to him, whereby there was a member's name as an account holder. After that, he gave it to James, who corrected it, and it became on the account of Medicare 24.
And who did James Murray work for?
James Murray was working for Medicare 24.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brigadier, just before you move, Chair, Commissioners, if you can turn to page 33 of the chats, which is the second tab. 33. And Brigadier, if you can confirm there that that is the Lancet invoice you were referring to, and the email from James Murray, which follows on page 34, if that is what you were referring to in your
That's correct.
exchange.
That's correct. If you look at the tax invoice, without mentioning the member's name, you can see that this account is billed to the member, or the member was charged for this account.
So the member would be the person whose name appears just above the address PO box, blah, blah,
Yes,
blah.
yes.
Thank
So
you.
it will be the responsibility of the member. I'm not sure if I should go to the document which was printed by the commission, which will indicate the change of the account holder.
Yes, you can.
Can you remind me which page is that? Which attachment is that?
Perhaps continue with your testimony, Brigadier, and if at a later stage you or Ms. Power find the document, you can then make the point you want to make about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chair, it's at page 61. So that would be the last tab. It's labeled MTJ7. Brigadier, can you confirm that that is what you're referring to? And
That's what I was referring to. If you look at the Lancet report that is on page 33, on the WhatsApp conversation between myself and Mr. Matlala, the account is on the member's name. So after I have communicated with him, then now the account is moved to Medicare 24 Tshwane District.
Merely reflecting the member's name to show which member it relates to.
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brigadier. You can continue.
Can I just clarify? I don't know its significance, but the one at page 33, Brigadier, carrying on to 34, has got a different amount from the one at page 62, which appears under the name of that member at page 33. It's different amounts. Is there an explanation? Are they the same? Are they speaking to the same thing? Because the amounts that reflect in the invoice and in this report.
They are the same, Commissioner. It's just because of him being a service provider, he had a contract, he had subcontracted Lancet. So Lancet maybe was giving him at a discounted price. Unlike when it's a member, then the member will be charged the full amount without a discount.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brigadier. You're at paragraph 33.
Thank you. On 2025-03-04, I sent him a voice note since I was going to attend the meeting, and he needed to clarify to me when he will facilitate the outstanding authorization. I needed the confirmation so that I can report about it in a meeting, since we were discussing the outstanding authorizations. and the plan for the scheduled medical surveillance for 2025-2026. Later in the day, he requested my email address so that he can share outstanding medical authorizations with me. I then share the email address with him. On 2025-0403, he forwarded me a message that he received from one of his contracted service provider that was refused to conduct medical surveillance in Limpopo because they say the contract was cancelled. I did not respond but was surprised by the message because we haven't received any communication about the cancelled contract. But the contract was still active and we continue with scheduling appointment for authorization received. Thank you. Meetings with JK.
Who is JK?
JK is General Pahlane.
All right, thank you.
On 2025-03-06, I received a call from JK and we discussed general life issues. While we were on call, that he indicated that he is available to meet Mr. Matlala to touch base since they have seen each other long ago. Mr. Matlala and JK have known each other, having met during our social engagement or circle in Pretoria, since I was in a relationship with him. It was during my conversation with JK that the two have seen each other ages ago, that they should meet and greet, checking on each other within their social context. I accordingly sent Mr. Matlala a message and he responded, "Tell him tomorrow at 1, same spot." I then forwarded the message to JK. I cannot elaborate any further on what is and remains a social relation.
Brigadier, is there a particular reason why you call General Pahlane JK?
His initials are JK.
But is that what you call him or how you address him on a daily basis when you see him? I just needed to understand why in your statement he's referred to as JK. I mean, some of my closest friends call me SK, but when they make a statement, they wouldn't put SK in a statement. So I'm trying to understand what
On the statement, the reason I put JK on the statement is because in terms of the questions that I have received, I was asked to clarify the meetings between Mr. Matlala and JK. Hence, I proceeded to respond by saying JK.
Oh, so you simply followed the line of questioning. It was not your idea.
No, it was not my idea.
Okay.
Brigadier, you were at paragraph 36.
On 2025-03-25, I received a message from JK that I must tell Mr. Matlala that they must reschedule their meeting to later or the next day. Then I forwarded the message as received and asked him to respond to JK. He then responded directly to JK and sent me a screenshot. It is through our social engagement circle that Mr. Matlala met JK. The transparent social relationship has never been concealed, thus I knew and had this occasional communication. They on few occasions met during lunch or early dinner meeting at a specific restaurant convenient to them. Thus the reference, same spot. As and when they were meeting, as and when the meeting room was, when he wanted to meet Mr. Matlala, JK will request that I inform or arrange, because he knows that I have regular contact with Mr. Matlala, or will personally see him. Telephone number of General Tema. On 2024-12-20, Mr. Matlala requested the contacts of General Tema because his phone was confiscated and he lost a lot of contact. I forwarded him the number. I do not know the reason for requesting General Tema's number. Oh, sorry. Nature of the relationship with Mr. Matlala. I met Mr. Matlala early in the year 2017 through a colleague who downloaded my photo on her WhatsApp status. The following day, she told me that my picture have attracted a lot of people, and there is a guy named Kat who requested her my contact. She asked for my permission if she should give him my contact. I then asked more information about this Cat guy, and she briefly described him. I then gave her permission to give Mr. Matlala my contact number. We then started talking with Cat and ended having a romantic relationship. We had an on and off cycle relationship. Sometimes we will even get a year break from one another without talking to each other. The romantic relationship is still in existence before his arrest. Mr. Matlala is romantic and showered me with gifts, including money. The romantic relationship...
Sorry, there's this sentence just before Mr. Matlala's arrest. I did not quite get what you were saying.
No, my statement here is saying the romantic relationship is still in existence.
It's still in a?
Existence.
Distance.
Yeah.
Existence.
But existence. That was
Apologies,
before
apologies.
his arrest.
So,
The arrest did not end the relationship, it interrupted it. No, I just need to be clear, sorry, it sounded like a joke, it's not. I just needed to understand that section of the statement.
It's a difficult question for me, Commissioner, because I haven't spoken to him since.
Let me put it this way, the two of you did not end the relationship. You did not say either one of you or both, the relationship has ended.
I presume it's ended. Yeah.
The answer to the question is none of you two has ended that relationship. You didn't say to him, I'm no longer in a relationship with you, and he's not said that to you either. I think that's what you're being asked. It's that direct question.
Normally when two people go their separate ways, sometimes there will be no communication. Then you'll have to assume that this relationship has ended. With him, we never have that thing of, no, I can't continue with the relationship. It happened that, no, we are not in speaking terms. I'm not talking to him, he's not talking to me for a year, and then it's the end of our relationship. Hence, when I explained it, I said we had an on and off relationship.
Yeah, but Brigadier, the question is simpler than what you're explaining. It is, he got arrested. By the time he was arrested, you were in a relationship with him. That's what you tell us.
Yes.
You were in a continuing relationship with him. What you're being asked is simply this. At no point after his arrest has he said to you, I no longer want a relationship with you, and neither have you done that? You haven't said to him, now that you are arrested, or for whatever reason, I no longer have a relationship with you. And it's that simple a question, so you can either say yes or no. We are wrong.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Brigadier, you were at the last sentence of paragraph 40.
The romantic relationship was well known to people close to my circle, and it is an open secret that we were in an on and off relationship. Conclusion. During our relationship, I knew Mr. Matlala as a businessman, having several businesses like Cat VIP Company, Medicare 24 Tshwane District, and other company. I have never borrowed money from Mr. Matlala, and the monies and gift received from 2017 was a gift from a boyfriend. None of the gift nor monies received from him were related to me having an influence to the awarding of the tender or the execution thereof, as I started receiving them from 2017 while being in our on and off relationship. From the inception of our romantic relationship, he will pay money directly into my FNB account, but when he was requesting another bank account, I asked him why another bank account, and he stated the following. He doesn't want the wife to find out about our relationship, the gift and the monies, because she knows me only as a friend. Now that he has a contract with SAPS, he doesn't want it to look like he's paying me for favors and doesn't want the gift to jeopardize my career, as other people might think about it in the wrong way. The account used was for a friend, Mudieri Kakana, who owns a butchery, and Mudieri will also complain to me that Mr. Matlala owes her money for the meat that he will normally donate to the members of the community, the friends when they are having funerals, and also from one of his baby mamas. I do not have further details on this issue, but I know, can I make a correction there? It was a typo. I said he owed her 38. It should be he owed her 338,000. While we were in a relationship, in my own knowledge, he was never arrested nor convicted of any criminal offense, which will have made me doubt or think that he's engaged in any criminal activities. I have never experienced any evil side which is being portrayed currently, and I know him as a humble, respectful, and a romantic person.
Brigadier, when you say in my knowledge, did you inquire? I mean, as far as I'm aware, Mr. Matlala has a long rap sheet. That's what they call it in, I think you understand what I mean. He's got a long record that includes convictions and various arrests, and he was charged several times and charges were dropped. So when you say in my knowledge, what do you mean? Do you mean that you checked or you did not check and therefore you were not aware?
I remember at one stage when I met him, I have checked. I request, because I do not have access to the systems in SAPS, since I am not from the operational environment. I requested 2 people to check for me. One gave me feedback to say he has a previous conviction on, I think it was possession of stolen property, if I'm not mistaken, but that previous conviction was long time ago. And the other one, it was a brigadier that I requested information from her, but she never gave me any feedback. It's only this Lieutenant Colonel that gave me feedback of his previous conviction.
So that statement cannot be correct then. You cannot say, while we were in a relationship, in my knowledge, he was never. Maybe you can say from 2017 onwards. But once you say never,
Okay, that's correct, Commissioner. I meant to say from the 2017, since our relationship, he was never arrested nor convicted of any criminal offense.
Thank you.
Also, sorry, just
And
a follow-up.
Lastly,
Carry on, you wanted to say something.
lastly, he has never asked me for any favors which might jeopardize my career. Thank you.
It was a follow-up on Commissioner Kumalo, and I just wanted to understand. You say that while in a relationship, he was never arrested. You were never aware that he was arrested, and you've now corrected it. But can I just check this? In the course of your relationship with him, up to the date of his arrest, you did become aware of the reports in the media where allegations were made against him.
That's correct.
That you became aware of. All right, thank you.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brigadier. Commissioners, there are a few questions arising from the statement, but in the main, I want to focus on the WhatsApp chats because the structure of the statement is largely to respond to specific chats, and it may be better to display them during the questioning in order for us to see them alongside each other.
maybe before you go to the chat, there was one paragraph in a statement. I had a question, but I thought maybe let's wait until, I think it's the second meeting. And I needed to know why it was held at CAT VIP Services, because CAT VIP is a security company and has nothing to do with this contract. I made a note, I think it's in paragraph 20 on page 6, that you have this service provider, Medicare 24, that has just been appointed. There's an introductory meeting in July 2024. And then in August 2024, you have a meeting at CAT VIP Services. Why was that, and whose idea was it?
It was his idea to have a meeting in the CAT VIP offices because by then the meetings were held in Boxback Clinic, Medicare Boxback Clinic. And seeing that we were around Pretoria, then he indicated that we can come to CAT VIP offices, which was in Main Lane.
So this was an arrangement between you and Mr. Cat Matlala.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And maybe when you referring to Mr. Matlala, just use his surname so that we know who you are talking about. Thank
We'll
you.
do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Ms. Bowe, I also had questions on the statement, and I thought you were going to go back paragraph by
Similarly, I will go back. I just meant for the most part, I'll focus on the chats, but there are some issues arising from the statement. But you can proceed, Commissioner Valu.
I'm going to take quite a while, so maybe we should do it your way, and when you come back to the statement, I can then ask my questions.
Commissioner Valu, excuse me, you're proposing?
No, I'm saying I had quite a few notes that I would have wanted to discuss from the statement, but I don't want to derail you, and maybe you can proceed in your way, and then when you go back to the statement, I can then deal with my questions.
All right.
I'm happy to do it that way.
Thank you. Brigadier, there's just two questions I have that don't arise from the chats that I would want you to clarify. At paragraph 12, where you deal with your roles and responsibilities, you indicated there that you had been in this new environment for 6 months, and at that time, the contract was then extended with Metropolitan for another 3 months. what role were you playing in that contract, in the management of that contract, if any?
The metropolitan contract, maybe let me say the metropolitan contract expired in March 2024. But because we had members that needed to conduct or subjected to medical surveillance, at that present moment, we did not have a service provider. And SAPS extended the contract of Metropolitan.
Yes, Brigadier, my question is rather that you said by March 2024, when you assumed your new responsibilities as the section head, right? At that point, it was Metropolitan that was in place providing these services.
That's correct.
That contract was then extended for an additional 3 months.
That's correct.
So my question is, were you playing a role, a contract management role in that
No.
contract?
No, I was not.
And
Why not? You were appointed section head according to page 2, 5.7. You became section head in October 2023, so Metropolitan was doing exactly the function that Mr. Matlala's company later got to do. Is that correct?
That's correct, but
Yes. So why were you not playing the same role that you later play with Mr. Matlala's company?
I understand Ms. Bo's question to say I was playing a contract management role, not the implementation of the contract. That's how I understand it.
Okay. She will clarify what she was asking you, but maybe answer my question. You are section head in October 2023. Metropolitan is the service provider. And you say, I want to know what role you were playing when Metropolitan was there and how different, if it was different, to the role that you now play with Mr. Matlala's company.
Okay. Normally, the role that I'll be playing in the contract, or maybe let me answer it like this. We have environmental compliance officers that will be coordinating the medical surveillance in the environment and facilitating the appointments. But if they experience challenges, then it will be brought to my attention as the section head so that I can intervene and interact and resolve some of the challenges which they will be having with the service provider.
We're playing that role under when Metropolitan was providing the service.
That's correct.
Of resolving challenges.
That's correct.
But the environmental compliance officers, I think you call them ECOs, you say, ECOs, were the ones
yes.
that were responsible to make arrangements.
That's correct,
Okay.
Commissioner.
Now it's Mr. Matlala, and I'm looking at your paragraph 4. You say, instead, I will urge him to facilitate appointment. That sounds like you are now involved with making of appointments for employees and yet, or for members. And yet my understanding of your answer is that was not your role. It was the ECOs or ECOs, I think you call them.
The ECO will schedule the appointments with the service provider. Then when the service provider is not facilitating the appointments, they will send me emails or call me to complain to say, we are not getting joy from this service provider. We can't get appointments. That's when I will communicate with the service provider.
Thank you.
Brigadier, sorry. Just look at paragraph 5.7 of your statement on page 2. Are you there?
I'm there.
That's 16 October 2023. Do you see that? You are the section head. That's what it says. So after that, your CV does not say your role changed. So from 2023 October until now, your role has not changed.
No, it has not changed.
So whatever your role was in October 2023, that was still your role when Mr. Matlala's company was appointed and while it was service provider. for subs.
That's correct,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Which means all the things that you mention in paragraph 4 of your statement on page 1,
Paragraph?
4 of your statement,
Yes,
you could still do them under the metropolitan contract.
that's correct,
So
Commissioner.
you could still be involved under the metropolitan contract as you were under the Medicare 24/20 contract. That's the point.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yes.
And Brigadier, still on, at paragraph 12, where you're dealing with your responsibilities, what I wanted to understand there is your role was to then manage the complaints coming out of the ECO offices, the ECOs.
That's correct. I will, whenever there are complaints, like the service provider is not facilitating the appointments, maybe let me explain how the medical surveillance work. Our members are subjected to medical surveillance and is done on a yearly basis. So if last year you have conducted your medical surveillance in August, that means the following year in August, you must go for your medical surveillance. So whether I'm there or I'm not there, the schedule, appointment, the application, members being subjected to medical surveillance, it will continue.
Are you moving from paragraph 12? Okay. Brigadier, your paragraph 12 suggests that the very first time you became involved with this function is after the metropolitan contract had ended. You say, months March 2024 into my new responsibilities as section head, I became aware of the health risk manager contract. But you would have become aware of it in October already, after October, not in March, because this is, you say you were doing the same function. In October, when Metropolitan was the service provider, you continued to do, you did the same function when Mr. Matlala's company was appointed. So the impression that is created there, in fact, let me read more of this. It says, in March 2024, into my new responsibility, we now know you were in charge of this from October 2023, not only in March. I became aware of the health risk manager contract. Now, it seems to me by that point you should have been aware of the metropolitan one. You say the awareness was triggered by coming to an end of the previous risk manager contract, metropolitan. I'm not sure about the accuracy of this, if already from October you were involved with the service being rendered by Metropolitan, exactly the same service. I don't understand that you would then become aware only when the contract ends. But you go on to say, there were discussions of the expired contract of Metropolitan. It was further alluded that there was an extension granted for 3 months to Metropolitan until a new service provider is appointed. The impression created up to this point is you knew nothing about, you were not involved with, and you knew nothing about the Metropolitan contract. Because the next thing you say, after you say, and it was alluded that an extension of 3 months was granted, you then say, that's when I requested more information so that I can understand the implementation of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program within the component scope, that component being CR and CSM within health risk manager scope, within that environmental compliance officer responsible for coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. The point I'm making to you is in paragraph 12, you create the impression that the first time you become aware and become involved with this service, this kind of service, is when a new contract is now being entered into. And that new contract is with Mr. Matlala. Before that, you knew nothing and you had no involvement. That's the impression you have created in this paragraph 12. And I would like you to read it. I know you wrote this, but maybe read it and tell me I am wrong in my reading of it. Because until Commissioner Khumalo asked you the question about your involvement with the Metropolitan contract, and you answered yes, I was under the impression from this paragraph that your very first involvement in this space is after Mr. Matlala is awarded the contract, not any time before. Can you just explain that and why you have said what you said in paragraph 12?
When I started in October 2023 in the environment, my supervisor was still orientating me on the nature of work that is being conducted, and also what is it that I need to be managing. My responsibilities in that environment doesn't only include the medical surveillance. There's quite a number of things that we are doing in quality management. The issues of compliance in terms of the standard, which I was also still learning the standard. Maybe I might be a slow learner. It might have taken me time to learn everything that was in the environment, because one of the things you also need to know different standards that are there, how they are applicable in the environment. Then in this, the eco-environment space, I was still in a learning process. I didn't even know that the medical surveillance in SAPS are conducted by a health risk manager. When it was discussed in the meeting in March to say that the contract of Metropolitan is coming to an end, but it will be extended, I then draw interest on it because it's part of my responsibility. Then I became involved in March with this responsibility of medical surveillance.
Thank you.
So, Brigadier.
When did you put it this way? Did the person that orientated you as to what your functions were, did that person not also tell you that this contract was part of your responsibilities?
No. No, they did not, Commissioner. They will just say, we do medical surveillance. That's it.
Which meant what?
Medical surveillance, it will mean that the ECHO officers will be the one that will be coordinating the whole program of medical surveillance. She did not go into details how we go about conducting the medical surveillance in the environment.
But surely all of that would have been in the context of the contract. It would not have been in the air, as it were.
Sorry, Commissioner.
I'm saying all of that would have been in the context of or under the umbrella of the contract. It would not have been in the air, as it were.
I don't understand your question, Commissioner. Can you repeat?
This has been outsourced by SAPS 2 at that stage, Metropolitan.
That's correct.
So I say everything relating to this function fell under what the contract provided for.
That's correct.
Not so?
That's correct.
So what I'm saying is what you say you were aware of must have fallen under the umbrella of what Metropolitan was required to do, not so?
That's correct, Commissioner.
So I find it difficult then for you to say that You had no idea of the existence of Metropolitan and the function that it performed.
That's correct, Commissioner, because if you are not involved or dealing with something on a daily basis, you will not get information about certain aspects of the environment. Like I have indicated, the ECO members will be the one doing the application, then it will go somewhere else for approval. They will get authorization. This, it was not coming to my office.
But you are there from October, and this is around 5 months later. For all that time, you were completely in the dark.
I was not in the dark per se, but I was not fully involved.
You were not in the dark, but you were not in the light as well.
Brigadier, someone was responsible. You tell us in this statement that your superior said you must not recuse yourself from this contract because if there are challenges, you would have to deal with them. Well, someone was dealing with the challenges from October 2023. That's your position. You are in that position. You say at 9.2, part of your responsibilities is to manage the coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring. That's a function you had from October 2023. And so challenges, if your position means you resolve challenges, you would have been the person still at that point. So it's very difficult to understand that you were completely blind or not involved with this function under the Metropolitan contract, and then with Medicare, you are so actively involved in a contract where there's an obvious conflict. So just make us understand how with Metropolitan you are not involved when it is your responsibility, you tell us, to manage coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring and to resolve challenges.
It's simply not enough for you to say you were in the dark, not for 5 months. Cannot be.
With Metropolitan commissioners, more especially that the contract was coming to an end. And they've been in the game for a long time. There were minimal, sometimes no challenges at all. So hence, maybe by then, it was never brought to my attention so that I can intervene. And what I was informed is that normally in the first year of the contract, the service providers will be struggling with the implementation and also understanding the environment.
Actually, it's a period of 9 months because Mr. Matlala's firm was only appointed in June. So I was just looking at March. So his firm, Medicare 24, was only appointed in June. So you want us to believe that for 9 months you were completely in the dark as to what you say were your responsibilities. Do you seriously want us to believe that that was your position?
That was
or is this a way of wanting us to believe why you suddenly got interested once Mr. Matlala was involved?
Commissioner, it's 6 months. It's not 9 months. But like I have indicated, with the previous service provider, we had minimal challenges which members could resolve.
Oh, it's October to June. How do you count your 6 months? It's October to June.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So for 9 months, you are not aware of your responsibilities and you suddenly become aware of them when Mr. Matlala comes into the picture. And you want us to believe that.
I became aware before Mr. Matlala can come into the picture, which was in March. And like I have indicated, with the previous service provider, there were minimal challenges. The challenges were never brought to my attention because the members could resolve or attend to the challenges. But when the new service provider came in place, there were a lot of challenges in terms of facilitating the appointments, because there's a service level agreement which will indicate once they receive authorization, the appointment must be facilitated. I think it says within 10 working days. You will have authorizations that have not been facilitated in 2 months, in 60 days. And members, the ECO members will be sending emails left and right requesting the service provider to facilitate the appointments. And if they do not get joy, that's when they will escalate it to my level.
Yes, Ms. Bowe.
Thank you, Chair. So, Brigadier, just so that I'm also on the same page, you, in the orientation period, you didn't play a role because that contractor in particular was effective, and so no issues came to attention, and therefore you didn't know about this aspect of the role that you have now assumed.
That's correct. Until March 2024, that's when I started being involved in the medical surveillance.
Okay, so this has always been part of your roles and responsibilities. It's somehow an oversight that occurred during the process of your orientation, that it wasn't brought to your attention.
That's correct.
All right.
Brigadier, in paragraph 13, you say you were informed in June. You say in June, the management of quality management was informed of the appointment of Medicare 24 Tshwane District. Is this the first time that you knew Mr. Matlala's company has been appointed?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Did you not know that he submitted a bid?
We were not in speaking terms by then.
Well, if you were not in speaking terms, why did you disclose in paragraph 14 to Brigadier Manamela that you have a relationship with him? Because you say, I know Mr. Matlala, and I explained the nature of my relationship and asked if I should recuse myself from the responsibility. Why would you do that if at that time you and Mr. Matlala are not in speaking terms? And you have explained to us that that's how your relationship went. Sometimes you were on off, I think that's what you call it, and you would carry on for periods without talking because at that time you are off. Now, why would you tell Mr. Manamela then, or General Manamela, that you have a relationship with him?
I felt a need to tell her so that she can be aware that I know Mr. Matlala, and myself and Mr. Matlala, we are in an on and off relationship. In case now it becomes on again, so that she become aware.
Right, thank you.
Brigadier, I'm going to be frank with you. Reading your statement, I think you're trying to avoid the obvious. In paragraph 17, you call yourself the end user in relation to this service. That's why you had to attend these meetings with the new company, which means you would have attended service provider meetings with Metropolitan as well. What you are really avoiding is the fact that as end user, you were aware that a contract is coming to an end, and you were aware that in January of 2024, a new RFQ was going out, and as the end user, you would have participated in the creation of that RFQ. And even though you were not a member of either the BEC or the BAC or the ultimate decision maker, throughout the process, you would have been made aware as end user. Because I find it hard to believe that an end user will be in the dark for a period of 8 months. Chair said 9 months, which is correct if you include the October month. I find it hard to believe that an end user won't know that a contract is coming to an end, that there's a new RFQ, because you must know what's in the specifications. And you must know who are the shortlisted people and whether or not they qualify. That's the part you are avoiding. That's why you are telling this commission that your involvement only starts after Mr. Matlala is appointed or after his company is appointed. Because you are avoiding the obvious fact that as an end user, you would have been aware and involved throughout.
Yes, I do not agree, Commissioner, that I became aware of the specification. I didn't know about the specification. I was not even aware of the people that bidded for the contract because it's not within my responsibility. It is the responsibility of supply chain management, who is keeping this process very close without sharing. So from my side, coming from a different environment that was not working with the medical surveillance, I could not have known the specification, who bidded for the contract, what is the contract doing, how should it be implemented. And like I have indicated, there are a lot of responsibilities in that environment, in the environment that I'm appointed at. As part of my orientation or onboarding process, they will take me through them step by step. If maybe I come into contact with something new, I will then ask my supervisor, or I will call members in my environment to come and give me a presentation so that I can understand what is happening in my environment. And maybe also one of the things that made me not to be aware of the medical surveillance is because all the administration regarding medical surveillance, it doesn't come to my level. It stays at the level of the ECOs. And part of it, we also have provinces that are also managing the medical surveillance in the province. So they do it on their own unless there are serious challenges which they cannot resolve from their side, then it will be brought to my attention. And with the previous service provider, there were minimal challenges. If they schedule appointment, the appointment will be given, the OC Health will also come and conduct the medical surveillance. And with this new service provider, there will be challenges in terms of implementing the authorizations, whereby members will stay for months without undergoing medical surveillance. And in our environment, medical surveillance are very critical. You'll have environments whereby members will totally refuse to work, to say, I cannot expose myself to chemicals or to whatever hazards that are there because I have not conducted my medical surveillance.
Thank you, Brigadier. I think what this commission will do is we will subpoena some of the records of the meetings with Metropolitan and also some of the records leading to the RFQ, and we will establish whether or not you were involved. Thank you.
Brigadier, when you, that paragraph 14 where you speak about your disclosure to your supervisor, can I just understand, when you spoke to General Manamela, what in fact did you say about what you say the nature of your relationship with Mr. Matlala? What did you tell the general?
I told the general that, thank you, Commissioner. I told the general that I do have an on and off romantic relationship with Mr. Matlala, but I haven't spoken to him for quite a while. That's what I explained. And I also requested, can I be excused from doing the medical surveillance? And she indicated that no, it's part of your responsibility and it's also on your job description. Although,
Why did you consider that you should be excused or recused from having to deal with this? What was behind that?
the reason I wanted to be excused is that sometimes it's not easy to work with your ex-boyfriend. Although you try by all means to maintain a professional relationship, but sometimes it's not easy.
Okay. I think you've clarified exactly what I wanted to establish when I asked you, what did you tell General Manamela about the nature of your relationship? So you said to General Manamela, he's your ex-boyfriend or ex-partner. That's how you explained him.
No, Commissioner.
Let me tell you what I'm trying to establish. I'm trying to establish whether General Manamela understood that you are in an ongoing relationship with Mr. Matlala at the time when she says to you, it's okay. You can manage a contract that where the service provider is your boyfriend. I'm trying to understand that. What exactly did you tell her? Because there is a difference between he is my ex-boyfriend. It's a clear statement. It's a past relationship. And the other one is to say, well, he and I are on an on-off relationship, but we are in a relationship. I've just not been talking to him for the last 6 months. It's an important distinction for purposes of this paragraph, for us to understand. Did General Manamela understand Mr. Matlala is your partner, is your intimate partner as you describe him? That's your language. You say, I have an intimate relationship with him. Did General Manamela understand when you spoke and disclosed your relationship that in fact you have an intimate relationship with him, you have an ongoing relationship, you've just not been talking to each other? General Manamela understood that. Is that what you're saying?
Commissioner, I think she did understand, because I remember even her making a joke to say, issues sabojolo hadiseni, this is a workplace.
Yes, so General Manamela had no difficulty, and she may not appear before us. So it's important that we get your answer clearly. General Manamela had no difficulty with you being involved in a contract, in managing a contract where your boyfriend is the service provider. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Pak.
And Brigadier, was any of this recorded formally, or was this just verbal at that one meeting?
No, it
The
was
disclosure.
No, it was not recorded anyway. It was just our verbal discussion. Yes, which raises another question for me. I would imagine, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because you know that environment better than I do, that the SAPS would have a policy on disclosures of conflicts of interest or potential conflicts of interest, and that policy would prescribe how that is to be done, where the disclosure should be made and to whom it should be made. Is there such a policy in the SAPS?
I'm not aware of such a policy whereby you have to disclose your relationship. I'm not aware of it.
No, I'm not saying disclose your relationship. Disclose any conflicts of interest. potential conflict of interest or actual conflicts of interest. I am imagining there's such a policy in government, including the SEPs. Are you saying you're not aware of a policy that requires you to disclose conflicts or potential conflicts of interest?
I'm not aware of a policy.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Chair-
Do you know if Mr. Matlala's company disclosed the conflict when they responded to the RFQ, when they submitted the bid? Do you know if they disclosed that actually the end user is my on-off partner?
I don't know if Mr. Matlala have disclosed, Commissioner, because by then, as I have indicated, we were not in a relationship. So I'm not aware on the document if he has indicated it. And I don't think he will even know that I was the end user, because this contract has quite a number of end users. It's not only me who was the end user. You'll get someone that is doing a recruitment into SAPS. That person will be an end user. You'll get people that are doing incapacity leave in the organization. You will have someone that is leading that stream. You will get a stream whereby...
Brigadier, I think you've answered me and I'm not cutting you short. I'm worried about the time because it's almost our tea time. So just one last question and a short answer, please, because it should be obvious. In June, when Mr. Matlala's company gets appointed, the relationship is flat, nothing is happening. When did the two of you start the relationship again? When did you suddenly agree that, okay, now things are back to us being in a relationship?
I don't remember.
These things are important, Brigadier, so think carefully.
Yeah, no,
These things are important.
I don't remember when did we start again with our relationship after he was awarded the contract. I don't remember.
I want to remind you, Commissioner Mkwanazi's words in this commission were to the effect that at the end of it, we must make findings and recommendations. And it would be unfair to make findings and recommendations on things that you are able to answer, but you choose not to. 2024 is not a long time ago. And if somebody is your partner or your lover, surely you must know when did things start again. Because you were very clear that in June, nothing was happening. So surely you must know when did things start moving again. Please think about it and try to answer it, Chair, after tea, because it's very important.
But may I just put in this question, but would it have been before December 2024 when you resumed your relationship?
Sorry, Commissioner?
Would it have been before December 2024 when you resumed your relationship? In June, you say you are still not. But by December, would you have resumed it already?
Yes, that's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. I'm not necessarily blocking Commissioner Kumalo's question because he wants specificity. You say June not. So Commissioner Kumalo wants when did you resume? So that's what you should mull over during the tea break. Let's adjourn and resume at 11:20.